Hey everyone, I'm back with a quick video on how I created these clear nails with the encapsulated flowers. And as always, I am sculpting. I'm starting out with a clear sculpted base. This is going to be just to protect the natural nails so that I don't have to take everything off when I'm ready to change this design, and so that anything I put down doesn't stain the natural nail. So I'm going to lay this really thin just to get my shape and a coating on the natural nail, and then I'll move on to the next step, which is placing my flowers. So here you're going to see me readjust this form. There was a bit of a gap there, and I've done the other 8 nails before I did these 2, so at some point I probably hit this form and knocked it out of place. So you always want to make sure there's not a gap right there, because the way that I lay that first bead coming back towards the cuticle, you'll end up with a bunch of acrylic under there if there's a gap between the form and the natural nail, and you don't want that. See me tapping the nail, I wait to hear if it clicks so I know if it's cured enough for me to take the form off and the nail's not gonna break or still be gummy. So when I get to all of my floral pieces and my leaves and stuff, before I get started I break them all apart so that I can pick them up easier. And you'll see throughout the video I'm going to be pressing down on some of those flowers with the stems because I need them to be flat, and they look really nice once they're flattened out as well. But I'm just using regular nail glue and an orange wood stick to help me press things down into place. If I need to use my finger, I will, but make sure you're careful that you're only touching, like you'll see me touch directly on the flower. Don't stick your finger to the client's nails. Help me pick things up, I will dip into the wet glue that I've already placed and then go back and try to pick up the pieces. Sometimes they get away from me, but for the most part, a little dab of the wet glue on the orange wood sticks help you pick everything up fine. For some additional accents and to kind of add a bit of a layered look to the nail, I'm adding in gold foil as well. And this sticks pretty well on its own, but every once in a while you'll see I need some glue to help a piece stick a little bit better. And this is just a loose leaf gold foil. Also, if you wanted to add even more of a layered look, you could put a little bit of clear acrylic between each layer. Like so, before I had put the gold flakes in, had I done just a thin wash of the clear acrylic and then put them, that would have gave even more like depth to the design. The brush that I used in the beginning to apply the clear acrylic was a Tammy Taylor large flat, and that's what I use for the bulk of my work. But when I'm encapsulating something, I use this number 16, and it's just a generic brush that I got from a nail supply store locally. But as you see me working on these and encapsulating them, it's going to seem like the nail is a bit bulky, but it's not. The base layer was so thin that this is when I'm adding the strength and structure to my nail, and then I do add a little bit more than I need because I want to have room to shape the nail and contour it to give it the aesthetic that I want it to have, and to make sure that it's properly structured, the stress area is going to be built up enough, and that I'm not going to file away any of the flowers as I go back over the surface. I like to do some e-filing first before I hand file, and sometimes it just really depends on what I'm doing. But in the case of encapsulating, I definitely like to do a little bit of e-filing first because I can get down the majority of that bulk and kind of bring those sides in where when I was sculpting, I may have a few flyaways or thin straight edges that drip down that I didn't catch. As we all should be doing, I use a new file for every client, and I always make sure to remove those sharp edges so that when I'm going along the sides like this that I don't cut my client's fingers. When I'm done with the bulk of my filing, I turn the client's hand around to face me to see if I need to adjust anything. And just like with my files, I use a new buffer for every client, so I also make sure I take the sharp edges off of those as well. When I am done with my buffing, I spray the client's nails with 99% alcohol and scrub them with a manicure brush, and then I go ahead and top coat them. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you try this out, tag me. I would love to see your recreations.